Jaguars final score in Philadelphia, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey in Jacksonville, and Fred Taylor joining us on the line from South Florida. And good afternoon to you, Fred. What's up? Fred, are you there? We'll get back to Fred.
JP, Mike.
Hey,
there he is.
Going,
Better
guys?
late than never.
What's happening, man? So a tough one today. Obviously, turnovers, the number one issue, 5-1. Jaguars gave it up 5 times, and then the Eagles ran for 210 yards as a team. Those are recipes for an L.
Without a doubt, JP. But it's been the Jaguars' Achilles heel. The same thing that got them to the 2-1 record and that allowed them success the past couple of weeks. It's the same thing on the flip side that contributes mostly to this loss. And there's no way at the quarterback position you can fumble the ball 4 times and also throw an interception when you have an opportunity to score or in scoring range, and think you're going to win football games. Yeah, they kept it close. It seems that they would have had an opportunity to make it a great game and come back, but just too many turnovers. You go into the game 8 takeaways, and you had your 9th takeaway prior to you start turning the ball over today, and now there are 9 takeaways and 5 giveaways, or actually 5 giveaways in this game. So that turnover ratio is something, man. Got to protect the football.
Yeah, and Fred, inept in terms of protecting the football on offense, and after the first couple of drives of the game for Philadelphia, the Jags really couldn't stop that running game, and it was disappointing that they were able to just hand it off in some key third downs, run it right up the middle, and be very successful. 210 on the ground against this Jags defense today, Fred.
Oh, yeah, Mike, without a doubt. I mean, just keeping the ball steady. And more importantly, I think when you go back, you look at the run game, they did an outstanding job running the ball. They kept the Jaguars' defense off balance. Those guys were breaking tackles. As soon as you think the Jaguars' defense had them in the backfield or for a short game, somehow they slithered it out and end up making it a 4-yard run here, 4-yard run there. And that's very frustrating for the defensive guys as well as the play callers. Now, and I really think that from a defensive standpoint, just the box count. Jalen Hurts is more than a threat. They were accounting for him, so they had that one guy overhang. But they tried to stop the run with 6 in the box majority of the time versus the Eagles' sub package, and they just couldn't do it.
Final score, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21 in Week 4. The Jags are now 2-2. Eagles improved to 4-0, the last unbeaten NFC team. Jaguars opened up a 14-0 lead in this game, and then there was the first of the 5 turnovers for the Jaguars offense, a fumble lost by Lawrence on a 4th down play. They were at the Eagles' 34-yard line on that snap. And then the next 3 Eagles drives after that were all touchdowns, and that's where the game turned, Fred, was on that first one, because all of a sudden they go down the field and 7 plays, a Hurts touchdown run, and then 9 plays, Miles Sanders, and then an 8-play drive, and Gaineswell gets a touchdown. So that's where it turned. That first turnover really kind of flipped the momentum.
Yeah, that first 4th and 3 was definitely the turning point in the game. I think that if Trevor didn't lose that ball there and fumble, he had a guy open for the 4th down conversion running underneath right there. But, who knows? Who knows if they don't turn it over or so on the very next play. But I agree with you, JP, that that particular fumble right there just started, just a downward spiral for the Jags.
Yeah, it really opened the door for Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, all these turnovers, these fumbles, a couple of them were good defensive plays, obviously, to get back there by Reddick, the last 2. Was there anything else? Was it rain, weather-related? What did you see, Fred?
Oh, yeah, certainly the weather had something to do with it. I mean, I think that, those balls that just slipped out of his hand, the first 4th and 3, when he was just scrambling out, I think if it's dry, Trevor doesn't lose that ball, and he makes that completion there underneath to extend that drive. The sack fumbles by Reddick, those happen, dry or raining. Those happen because Trevor wasn't alert right there. But certainly the rain contributed some. I know as an offensive guy, we always think about ball security in these conditions. But we also know that our footing is better than the defensive players' footings. So we welcome the rain. We just have to be more aware of holding on to the ball.
So, Fred, you come into the game, Philadelphia's without Avonte Maddox, their slot corner, and Darius Slay goes out pretty early in this football game, yet until very late, they completely took Christian Kirk out of the game. Marvin Jones did not have a catch today, snapped a long streak of games with at least one reception. Was it, again, the conditions, or did you see something specific that Philadelphia was doing to frustrate those two guys?
I mean, Philly has an amazing defense. I mean, amazing team. They built an amazing roster offensively and defensively, starting with their line. You know, they're great up front offensively on the line, and they're very good defensively on the line, as we were able to witness. And then you go into the back end. You mentioned, Mike, that they didn't have their top guys at cornerback there, but they have a very deep secondary. And those guys showed it today. The one pass that was intercepted by Bradbury was just him coming off of his guy. Just amazing awareness. You know, if he doesn't make that play, you know, if Trevor has an opportunity to pump it and hit the post route behind it, that guy gets in trouble. But just great heads-up awareness by him to come off his route and to intercept the ball that was intended for Christian Kirk. And so if it were us talking about the Jaguars' defense, we would be giving those guys all sorts of credit. And I have to give credit where credit's due with the injuries, the amount of injuries that those guys had on that side of the ball, as well as their offensive line. You gotta tip your hat to their depth on the roster and the secondary or the backup guys that came in and played well and didn't miss a beat that allowed them to win this game today.
We'll come back. Plenty ahead. Bucky Brooks standing by in Philadelphia. We'll hear from head coach Doug Peterson in just a little bit. Final score, 29-21. Eagles over the Jaguars. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
How far should we go? When it comes to the health of children, we will stop at nothing, focusing on prevention as much as cures. Working with community leaders, educators, policymakers to make every child's world a place for them to thrive. Going to the nth degree and beyond. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine. Join the journey at nemours.org/beyond.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been a leader in direct mail for over a decade. Using the latest technology, Kessler can now reach your ideal audience even more effectively. Choose from between a couple of response channels, from direct mail to landing pages designed to engage and initiate responses with potential customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Final score 29-21. The Eagles are now 4-0. The Jaguars 2-2. And the Jaguars just couldn't get it done today after that 14-0 lead. The Eagles rally for 3 touchdowns in the second, or right before halftime, and then keep on scoring and taking the ball away, and 5 takeaways for the Eagles defense today. 4 fumbles from the quarterback in this game, and that won't win you many.
Yeah, like you've said, Fred, even if you give the credit to the Eagles' defense for those takeaways, some of those self-inflicted by the Jags, the Eagles' offense held on to the football today. That was the difference. The Jaguars sloppy with the ball in the conditions, but Philadelphia wasn't, JP.
Yeah, first drive. That was the only exception when Cisco got the tip ball interception. After that, clean game.
And that was a play where Darius Williams made a play on the ball, and it got popped up. It wasn't like they were just dropping it on the ground like you saw a little bit from Jacksonville today, not as sure-handed. And again, I'm not look, you could say self-inflicted, but Philadelphia had every opportunity, Fred, to make those same kind of mistakes.
Yeah, as much as Philly went out there and handed the ball off to their runners, you would think that, with that, the runners touched the ball 50 carries. I mean, that's a lot of ball handling right there. So you would think they would increase their opportunities to turn the ball over in these type of conditions. But as you said, Mike, Philly took amazing care of the ball after that first series, and they went on to have 29 unanswered until the Jaguars scored there late in the game with their late touchdown push right there. But, yeah, Philly they went out and they played as if they're used to playing in these conditions all the time. So they deserve all sorts of credit for, taking care of it.
Time now for the Locker Room Report presented by Baptist Health and the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, the official sports medicine provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Josh Allen today for the Jags had 7 tackles, another sack, and 2 total quarterback hits, and he's standing by with Bucky Brooks in Philadelphia. Bucky?
What's up, Josh? No more victories. We don't do that. But how do you feel about the game?
A lot of emotions going through my mind right now. Just what I'm feeling right now, man. I feel like, we were the better team. I feel like we are a better team than them, and I feel like we're going to see them again in the long run. That's all I really care about. We know we're gonna watch this film. We're gonna work on what we need to work on and prepare for Houston because we got to win the South if we're gonna play in the playoffs. So we want to see this team. We got to win next week.
And thinking about that, because this was a great measuring stick, because this is a physical team, a team that runs the football and those things. What are some of the lessons that you guys can pull out of this game to help you going forward?
I mean, we got to know. We knew coming into the game that this team was the best second quarter team in the National Football League, and they showed it. You know what I'm saying? And we knew that. So for us, man, is to know our. We know we got to stop the run. We know that, and that's every week. But this is the best second quarter team in the National Football League, and they were the best second team. They were the second. They did what they've been advertised all year, and that's something that we need to look. We need to be more detailed in situations like that. And so moving forward, we have another opportunity to play against a team that has similar traits or similar. Okay, they do better in this situation. To know that, and to be aware, and to really do more. Do your job, but do it at the best level as you can.
Jalen Hurts presents a different problem as an athletic quarterback that runs the ball and those things. There's some guys that do that stuff later down the schedule. What will you take from facing a guy like that you guys can help make you better defense?
I mean, he made a lot of good plays. You know what I'm saying? He made a lot of good plays. I feel like up front, I think we've, I got to look at the film. Credit to him. Credit to the offense. He's a good quarterback.
So we got Houston next week.
Yep.
So we look at the film. We'll get right. We'll get a chance to see you next week. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that's Bucky Brooks with Josh Allen, the Jaguars outside linebacker. A losing effort today. Had a 7-tackle game, a sack, and 2 total quarterback hits for Josh Allen and a 29-21 loss. Coming up, Doug Peterson will visit with Bucky Brooks.
Doug, how did the conditions affect Trevor and the offense in general, in your opinion?
I mean, I think it affected him a little bit. Obviously, we can't turn the ball over 5 times like we did and expect good things to happen. And we're going to be in games like this, where the conditions aren't going to be favorable, and we just have to do our part to hang on to the ball.
14-0, and all of a sudden they just come at you with all these points for that. Just talk about that kind of a turnaround for your team.
Well, I mean, we talk about it all the time. It's just we've just got to focus on us, right? And anytime you make the mistakes we did, turn the ball over like we did, it's just and where we turned the ball over, you're not going to keep good teams out of the end zone, and that's really the difference in the football game. I'm proud of our guys for they fought there to the end, gave us a chance to at least see what was going to happen there, at the end of the game, but. It's just the turnovers and mental errors that really cost us today.
What was it like to be back?
It was great. Yeah, it was great. It was a great crowd, great welcome. But yeah, it was good.
Was there anybody out there you didn't get a chance to talk to, Doug? You were out there a long time before the game,
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, this is my normal routine, just seeing guys, but. At the end of the day, I've got a job to do and get the Jags ready to play, but it was good to see a lot of people, and when you spend as much time here as we did, and do the things we did, it was good to see a lot of people.
Did the bring back any memories at all, though? Just being here.
I mean, once the game started, no. I mean, it's just the fact that you're looking a little different perspective, but on the other sideline, but obviously spent a lot of time in that stadium, and fans were great today, as expected, and, just unfortunate for us.
What's the big learning experience Trevor must take away from a day like this? 4 lost fumbles, an interception, it's 14-0 lead lost.
Yeah, I think obviously short-term memory, number one. We got to fix those mistakes with him, correct them, show him, keep teaching him, and he's going to be better for it. We'll be better for it, obviously, down the road, and he's great about fixing things and being a pro about it, and that's what we expect, and he'll do that.
Doug, I think James didn't touch it other than the last carry and a half, but like 2 quarters, second, third, and you guys only ran it like 19 times.
We just didn't have enough touches. I mean, turnovers, and you just don't have enough touches, and you're trying to get the ball to this guy and that guy and stick to your plan, and you just can't turn the ball over like we did. You just don't get enough opportunities.
How much did the first down, even some of the drops, kind of get you guys going? It seemed like they happened on first down plays, get you out of the rhythm.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. We just, again, we can't, as much as we try, we can't let the elements affect, what we do. And you might have to modify some things, but you really have to stick to your plan and do the things that that we've been able to have success with, the last couple of weeks.
They were really able to run the ball when they needed to run the ball, when they needed to work clock late in the game. As a play caller, how, and a guy, still designing an offense, how hard is that for an offense to do when the other team knows you're probably going to run it and you need to run it and you do it?
Are you talking about what they did at the end?
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, that's, as we know, that's a good offensive line. Know all those guys and know how they're coached and they're well coached, and it's just that's what they've prided themselves in, and we've got to be better, on the defensive side. We got to stay in gaps, and we got to somehow try to slow down the rush, as best we can. But yeah, I mean, that's how you win games at the end. When you got the lead, you just run behind the big offensive line, and as long as you make first downs, stay on the field, you got a chance to win the game.
How disheartening was that sequence where Trevor misses Agnew deep, could have been a 21-0 lead, then the first fumble follows, and then the other part later in the game when they got 3rd and 5, they just ended up the middle and get 7 yards.
Yeah, I mean, those are obvious plays, right? I mean, we have to convert. We got to make. We got to make those, and when you have guys open like that, and just do the best we can to execute those plays, and then again, on the flip side of it, staying disciplined in our in our rush lanes and trying to get the ball carrier on the ground.
Doug, you had 2-2 after 4. You have to feel for this team. There's been a lot of different things that's happened, the good, the not so good.
I think I got a great feel for this football team. These guys are mad. They're kind of a little bit ticked off, and they should be. They should hate losing more than they enjoy winning, and that's what I told them after the game. And 24 hours, we'll get in the film room tomorrow, and we'll look at it, we'll fix it, make the corrections, and then move on. But it's a good group of men in there, and they're they hurt just like I do, and they want it just like I do, and we'll get it fixed.
Zay Jones wasn't able to go today. Was that a product of maybe the temperature and the rain and things of that nature, or did you just not want to have him out there at all for the ankle?
I think it was more just him physically. He tried to run on it, pregame or before pregame, and sort of a game time decision. And look, I'm a big believer that if a player's not feeling it mentally, you just don't want to risk it, right? You just don't want to put him out there. And of course, then the elements. But it's only week 4, and there's a lot of football ahead of us still. And I just didn't want to put him in a situation that could set him back, and hopefully get him back this week.
Doug, do you have any update on Bonacossi and how big of a part of the run defense?
I don't yet. Some of the injuries we have, I got to just check with our docs here when I get done, and probably have a better update tomorrow.
How tough is it though when you don't have him out there when it's crucial?
Yeah, I mean, he's a big part of the run defense, obviously, and pushes the pocket. It's just makes you a little bit thin, but I thought the guys around him stepped up, did a nice job, but we'll see where he's at. Try to get him healthy for next week.
You and Hurts kind of talked to each other after the game. Anything you can share about that? I mean, obviously, you had a relationship based on here.
No, I just told him I was proud of him, and just wished him well the rest of the season, and just how he's really turned into the leader that we all thought he was going to be and is, just wanted him to know that.
Did you guys have to practice in the rain this week, or were you able to?
We were in the rain a little bit on Wednesday. Thursday it rained kind of like this, but we were indoors down there in Jacksonville, and then Friday it was beautiful Friday. So, we missed the bulk of the storm. Stayed south and east of us. We got lucky there, so we practiced one day in the rain.
Do you have a philosophy? Do you like to practice if you know the conditions are going to be bad? Do you like to practice deliberately with a wet ball, or at this level?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we do. We try to, especially if we have, I would say, multiple dry games in a row, and we know there's some weather coming in. We try to do that. But listen, we live in Florida, and it rains quite a bit, down there, and anytime, even if we do practice and there's a little bit of rain, we're going to go outside and practice in the elements if we can.
On the snap, was that more on Fortner or Trevor, or could you tell?
It's hard to tell on the screen replay. It looked like it just was a drop snap, something that, we obviously can't happen in those situations, and we got to clean that up.
How much do you feel like on the last one with Trevor? Do you feel like he held the ball a little too long on the last one?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Until we really honestly look at the film and see what other options he might have, at that time. But just knowing that, you just got to keep two hands on the football and try to hang on to it.
As a former quarterback yourself, did you feel, a special need to really kind of, calm Trevor down after the game? Because, as bad as he feels to this day, I'm just wondering.
I mean, we talked even during the game, and told him that we just got to keep fighting, keep pushing and plugging away. And, he understands, he knows, he's a professional, and it's just something we just got to continue to work on, with him and with everybody that touches the football. And, this is, we're going to be good. We're going to be okay. We'll be fine. We'll learn from this and make the necessary corrections.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Right outside the door, I'm told.
They just went back to work and figured out what they needed to work on and went and executed it. And you get the feeling that is probably going to be the case again. There's not a lot of, at least so far in the short sample size we have of this team, not a lot of examples of that happening. So, hey, we'll see. And that starts at the top with the leadership and the coaching staff. And Doug Peterson has just finished his conversation with the media in Philadelphia. He's headed down to catch up with Bucky Brooks. We'll visit with the head coach in his return to Philadelphia.
Turnovers, how big of an effect you guys had? Because you had the momentum going, and then it just kind of, the miscues kind of took over that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I'll just start by saying, obviously, I got to play better. I mean, our defense gave us a chance to win it at the end of the game, and I'm just pissed I let those guys down, and really just too many turnovers. Obviously, it starts with me. All of them were me today, so that's no one else to blame there. So let those guys down. It's disappointing. I felt like we had a chance to win that game, and we did, and same thing at the end there. So that's really frustrating. Really felt like we started to click and get some drives going, and then got on there tight in the red zone early in the second half and had the interception, which was obviously a big shift in momentum. And then at the end, we were able to score in a minute there, the second to last drive, get us back in the game. Defense had a huge stop on fourth down, and then same thing, first play in the pocket, guy gets his hand on it. I just gotta, I gotta take better care of the ball, gotta tuck it. I mean, there's gonna be things to learn from, and obviously just really, really disappointed right now.
How did Jamal Agnew step up for you today?
Yeah, he played great. I mean, that's a guy that really can do a lot of things for us, and he did it last year too. So I'm pretty familiar with just how he plays, the things that he can do, the different positions we can put him in and use him. And he did a great job stepping up. I think 2 touchdowns a day, and had some big catches, and played great. He was ready to roll, and that's all you can ask.
Have you had many games like this where it's just a sideways rain for the entire outing?
Not really. It rains a ton, obviously, in Florida, but just today was the wind and everything. It was pretty brutal, and just at the end of the day, no excuses. We're both playing in it, and like I said, just really, really frustrated right now, and excited to watch the tape, and just, I mean, it's going to be brutal to watch it, and just to see all the missed opportunities and things that we had, and I mean, with 4 turnovers and to still have a chance to go win the game at the end, it doesn't usually happen. So it shows that we played well in other areas. So we got to clean that up, and we will, and I'm confident in that. But it's definitely sucks right now.
How hard is it for you to process a loss like this when you have as many turnovers as you did, as opposed to a loss where it doesn't seem like the quarterback had as bad a day as you had today? How difficult is it for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's either way. I mean, you lose a game, it's not fun. But I mean, obviously, it's more frustrating when you personally didn't play well and had a lot of opportunities and kind of just didn't take advantage of them. Turn the ball over way too much. You're not really going to win any games turning it over 5 times, and so yeah, it's really, really frustrating, disappointing. But we got to have a short memory, just like we do when we win. When we play well, same thing when we don't play well, when I don't play well, when we lose a game, whatever it is, 24-hour rule. We got to watch this tape, learn from it, and move on to the Texans next week.
When you released the deep ball to Jamal, did you think you had it, or did you kind of know that you had put too much on it?
The one early, talking about? Yeah, I had a little bit of pressure, so I had to get it out a little quicker than I wanted to, and really just with the elements the way they were, I didn't want to hang the ball up too much and give the safety a shot to get it. So try to put it somewhere where only he could get it, and overthrew it a little bit. But that was just one that he did a good job, beat his guy, and it was one we just obviously want to hit, but it's all good.
How tough was it for you guys as an offense just not being able to get the ground game going? I know there were fewer touches because of the turnovers.
I mean, I just think the way some of those series went, first down, we just were behind the sticks a lot, whether that was an incompletion or whatever, a miscue on first down, whatever it was. We were in a lot of second and longs, third and longs early in the game, and then even coming out after halftime. So whatever that was, I couldn't tell you everything right now. I need to go back and watch it and really, talk to the coaches, all that stuff. But it's just we didn't stay on schedule like we have the last 2 weeks, so that hurt us. And then same thing. I mean, I think it really comes down to the turnovers at the end of the day. Obviously, everybody probably knows that. But taking all that stuff into consideration, still had a chance to win and put together some great drives. And we gotta finish. Can't turn it over.
Trevor, what was your perspective on
Yeah, just, for me, I got to secure it. Obviously, it's pouring at that point and going under center, trying to get the QB sneak, and everyone's pushing just to try to get that 1 yard. And those are the situations where it's just you got to secure it. I mean, obviously, that's the main thing, but you get a little bit ahead of yourself and you're trying to strain to get that 1 yard, and that's when you see some mishaps with catching the snap, all that stuff. So communication was good. It was just on me. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you can't go back to that moment and be like, where were my hands exactly, all that. I'm not really thinking about that in that moment, but at the end of the day, Luke does a great job. He's consistent. We never had issues, and I've never had issues there, and that was just one that we missed, and that's on me, and we got to learn from it and get better.
Did your confidence ever waver throughout the process? Turnovers and things of that nature, sometimes it can pile on a little bit.
Yeah. No, not really, honestly. Like, obviously, like I said, the back and forth, ebbs and flows of the game, I actually think we managed well besides the turnover there at the end. I mean, after all that had happened, we're down whatever we were down there before the second to last drive, down 2 scores, and we go and score in a minute. I think whatever, 70 or 65, 70-yard drive, go and score in a minute, get us back in the game. I had all the confidence there, and I think everybody did. And then have a chance to go win it, same thing, another turnover. So never really lost confidence. It's just, like I said, you can't win a game doing that.
Well, what does that say about this team? Just, you guys were in it at the end. You were able to keep fighting. What does it say about the team when you're able to see that?
It says a lot, just what this team's made of. We got a lot of competitors, guys that don't quit. Everyone believed the whole game. In our defense too, I'm sure it's frustrating for them when offensively we turned the ball over that many times, and they just kept going back out there and had a lot of big stops. Those guys, they played good enough to win the game, and that's, like I said, that's why it's disappointing. You let those guys down, but we're going to learn from it. We're going to get better. I know this is a really good football team that we got here, and we're just got to put it together next week. So. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, go out, go to the right. Dylan will let you in the locker room. Thank you.
Businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. The team always has a game day plan, and so do I.
This week at Publix, save $10 instantly when you spend $40 on the P&G products that help you tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup, including Crest, Old Spice, Bounty, and Tide. Clip your digital coupon now at Publix.com.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Final score, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21. JP Shadrick with you, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Let's get to the highlights from this one. Frank Frangie with the call. Jags on offense first to open the game, go 3 and out. But the Jags defense comes out. They were leading the league in takeaways, tied for the league high, in fact, with 8 takeaways coming into the game. On the 6th play of the opening drive, they get takeaway number 9.
Play fake. Hurts drops to throw. Looking. Fires downfield. That ball is tipped and intercepted. Andre Cisco picks it off after the deflection inside the 40, inside the 30-yard line, along the right sideline. Andre Cisco. He's going to bring it back all the way. That's a pick 6. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
That was the Kingfish Pest Control defensive play of the game. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home by going to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com. 7-0 Jaguars after the extra point. The Jaguars defense gets a punt from the Eagles, and then the offense goes to work. 8 plays, 80 yards, and Trevor Lawrence to Jamal Agnew.
Dropping, looking, throws to the right side. That's caught by Jamal Agnew. Toward the goal line. Touchdown! Jamal Agnew gets it into the end zone, and Jacksonville has scored again.
14-0 Jaguars feeling good at that point. Defense gets a stop on downs, and then this is where it turned in the first half. It was a 4th down try at the Eagles 34 for the Jaguars offense, and Trevor Lawrence lost the handle of the football rolling right on 4th down, recovered officially by the Eagles for a turnover. And then the Eagles go down 7 plays, 57 yards in just over 4 minutes, and Jalen Hurts finds the end zone.
He drops the throw. Hurts looks, scrambles forward, wants to run it. He gets hit. The ball comes out. They call it a touchdown. He was hit at the goal line. The ball came out as he was hit, but they're going to signal touchdown. It was close. Did he get it to the goal line? They say yes.
Yes, he did. It was 14-7 at that point. Jags offense goes 3 and out. Next drive for the Eagles, 9 plays this time, 71 yards, and Miles Sanders from 10 yards to tie it.
Inside handoff to Sanders again. Inside the 5, into the end zone, touchdown. A touchdown run by Miles Sanders, and the Eagles are an extra point away from tying the ball game.
Jaguars back on offense on the 3rd play of the drive, 3rd and 1 after a close play on 2nd down. ETN at first glance appeared to have reached the first down marker. No review. 3rd and 1, they tried to sneak it, but Lawrence fumbled the snap and lost the ball, and the Eagles recovered it, and then the Eagles go 8 plays again, 35 yards. This time, Gainwell gets the touchdown run to take the lead.
They hand the ball to Gainwell, runs it right up the middle for the 10-yard touchdown. Was barely touched. Kenneth Gainwell gets the touchdown, and Philadelphia has taken the lead.
20-14, they missed the extra point. That was the halftime score. 20-14, Eagles with the lead. Teams trade punts to begin the second half, and then the Eagles defense comes through again. This time, it's an interception off Trevor Lawrence, James Bradbury.
It's a blitz, an all-out blitz. He fires to the left side, wants Christian Kirk, and that ball is going to be picked off. He read his eyes, and that ball is intercepted by James Bradbury. It was an all-out blitz. Trevor threw it to the left side, wanted Christian Kirk near the 5-yard line, but Bradbury made a diving interception to end the Jaguar drive.
That play started at the 16-yard line of the Eagles, going in for the Jags, unable to do anything with it. The Eagles get a field goal off that, 28-yarder from Jake Elliott, 23-14 the lead at that point. And then the defense for the Eagles pinning their ears back again. This is Hassan Reddick against the right tackle, Jawan Taylor, who gets home and sacks Trevor Lawrence and more.
Trevor dropped the throw, 4-man rush. He is hit. The ball came out. The ball came out. He was hit. It's going to be a strip sack, and the Eagles are going to take over the 3rd fumble of the day for Trevor Lawrence. And the Eagles have pounced on top of every one of those. The Eagles take over around the 24-yard line of Jacksonville.
And they cash it in 6 plays later on a Miles Sanders 5-yard touchdown, his 2nd of the game. The 2-point try, no good. The Eagles' lead is 29-14 at that point. The Jaguars do get back down the field, though. They get a long pass to Christian Kirk of 45 yards. And then Lawrence, for the 2nd time of the game, finds Agnew, this time from 8 yards away.
Dropping the throw. Fires to the right side. That ball's going to be caught. Jamal Agnew spun away from a defender into the end zone. Touchdown. Jamal made something happen after the catch, and the Jags have scored.
Extra point good. Jags within 8. They have a chance. The Eagles go 11 plays and then go for it on 4th and 3. Jaguars defense gets a stop, and they have a little life. No timeouts left, though. They've got to drive down the field. First play, though, it's a game ender, this time from Hassan Reddick again.
4-man front, he dropped the throw. Trevor looks. Trevor hit. The ball came out again, and Philadelphia has recovered again.
And they knelt down and ended the game. Final score 29-21, the Eagles over the Jaguars. That's how it sounded today. We're back with a look at the Vystar final stats. Plenty more ahead. 29-21, Eagles over the Jaguars, and this is Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
At Vystar Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. Vystar Credit Union, VystarCU.org. Go Jags!
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
It's football season, and time to take your game to the next level with a Ford F-150 truck. Light up your tailgate with an available Pro Power onboard generator. And with an available 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine, you can tow just about anything you need to rule the stadium lot. Ford F-150, part of the F-Series lineup that have been the best-selling pickups for 45 straight years. Get to your local Ford store today. Proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC, 29-21 the final. Eagles over the Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Fred Taylor. And time now for the Vystar final stats. Jaguars Game Day Radio is brought to you by Vystar Credit Union. Do good, bank better. We'll start off with the team stats. All Eagles, 401 to 219, and the total yardage. They ran for 210 yards, the Eagles did. 71 on the ground for the Jags, 191 to 148 in the passing yardage in favor of Philly. First downs, 25 to 13. The Eagles led that way. Eagles had were only 4 of 15 on third downs. They had a bunch of fourth down conversions, though, in the game. Jags were 2 of 7 on third down today. Time of possession, as you would imagine, heavily in favor of Philly with that many rushing yards, 39 minutes, 51 seconds. And the number one statistic that usually decides games is the turnover battle, and the Jaguars lost it 5-1.
I thought you were going with score, because that one
Thank you very much. The second most important statistic that decides games, the turnover battle.
All right, well, the turnover battle obviously did not go in the Jags' favor today. Individually, Trevor Lawrence, 11 of 23 for 174 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, both to Jamal Agnew, threw the 1 interception, but 4 fumbles. He lost all 4 of them to the Philadelphia Eagles. Trevor carried it twice for 7 yards. Really nothing going on the ground very much today for the Jaguars. Jalen Hurts threw for 204. No TDs. He did throw a pick, but he ran for a score in the game. 16 carries for 38 yards. I thought the Jags overall did a pretty solid job on Jalen Hurts. Not quite as much on Miles Sanders, who ran it 27 times for 134 yards and a pair of scores. Kenneth Gainwell rushed for a touchdown for Philadelphia. Travis Etienne led the way, 8 carries for 32 yards. James Robinson only 8 carries as well, resulting in 29 yards. Christian Kirk, extremely slow start, but I guess all the pass catchers had that. But he ended up catching 2 balls that went for 60 yards. That topped Jacksonville in yardage. Jamal Agnew, 4 grabs for 50 with those 2 touchdowns today. And Marvin Jones Jr. had a long streak of games with a reception as he only got 1 target. It hit him right in the chest, and he dropped it. And that would have been his lone opportunity. A.J. Brown had 5 grabs for 95 yards for Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, 5 for 72. Defensively for the Jags, Foye Oluokun, 16 total tackles, including 12 solos on the day. Devin Lloyd had 14. 10 of those were assisted tackles. Oluokun had 3 tackles for loss on the day as well. Adam Gotsis and Dwan Smoot split a sack today for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Josh Allen had the other one. That's one where Jalen Hurts basically dropped the ball, fell on it, and able to reel it in. Of course, Hassan Reddick, the 2 big late sacks, forcing fumbles for Philadelphia among the 4 sacks they had on the day.
Okay, Fred, Miles Sanders, pretty darn good day at the office. 27 carries, 134, and 2 touchdowns for the Eagles in their win today.
Hey, JP, Miles has always been a pretty good back. You know, he's been a very solid back. Today he showed has extreme patience, just amazing vision, and he's able to break some tackles, and that's what you need from your back under these sort of weather conditions.
On the other side today in the running game, Etienne 8 for 32, Robinson 8 for 29. There's not much of an opportunity to get it jump-started today there.
Not at all. I mean, you have to be able to sustain drives, protect the football, not turn it over, give your offense a longer field. And I was wondering throughout the game, I'm asking myself, JP, you know, how is it that Jacksonville isn't able to run the ball? And on the flip side, Philly's running in at will. I mean, they were averaging pretty much about 4 yards a pop or so throughout the course of the game, slow and steady, and, you know, they were churning and getting it done. And I just thought Jacksonville, you know, I don't know. It was just a weird game for me today, just watching it, you know, trying to guess and figure out the play caller's plays. I really couldn't keep rhythm. And obviously it shows here in the score sheet. I mean, the score column. But yeah, just no real balance, no rhythm, just out of sync across the board. And when you guys are reading the defensive stats, man, I was looking at that. And I'm going, Aluakon 16, Lloyd 14, and Robertson Harris from the D-line position, nine tackles from the D-line position. That's never good. That's never good.
That means they're getting a lot of action on the middle and the second level of the defense. Yeah, that's what that means.
That is awful. That is just too many tackles. I mean, you got you got almost 50 tackles right there between three guys.
Yeah.
You know, and that you know, just on the flip side of the stat sheet, that's never a good sign.
Let's come back in a moment. Jaguars Radio Network player of the game voting when we return. Eagles 29, Jaguars 21. And it's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. Enter now for your chance to win behind-the-scenes access, game tickets, and more. Look for details at Publix, where you can pick up all your game day needs, including Bounty, Tide, Pantene, and Crest. Tackle everything in one stop. Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Tired of hearing "fine" to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jaguars. And the final score, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and Fred Taylor. And time now for the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game voting. I get a vote, Mike gets a vote, Fred gets a vote. They all might be the same.
Might be. Fred thought that last week, though, and it didn't turn out that way.
What do you think, Fred? You want to get us started?
Oh man, I don't know where to go. No one on offense deserves it. No one on defense deserves it. Sheesh, I don't have a clue, man. I'm stumped.
You want to pass?
I mean, this one seems pretty easy today.
You think so?
I think so.
Sheesh, I guess you said it, so maybe you do think so. Let me hear you, JP. It
right.
might give me some inspiration.
Well, remember, Zay Jones was out today, so that opened up a window for a receiver a little
Agnew.
deeper down the depth
Yeah,
chart.
man.
And Jamal Agnew jumped in there today and had 4 catches on 6 targets for 50 yards, 2 of those touchdowns. A guy who hasn't played a lot of receiver in his time in the NFL, and so that's my vote.
Me too. Only offensive scores they had all day. Had 2 and handled all the return duties as well, including had his longest kickoff return of the season of 27 yards. I mean, it's not that he did that much on special teams, but he did handle those duties. Caught 4 passes for 50 yards, which was second best on the team in terms of yardage. He had no other Jaguar receiver had more than 2 catches today, and Jamal Agnew had 4, and 2 of them ended up in the end zone. So I'm with you, JP.
So, yeah. So, Fred, have we convinced you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, might as well. Go for it. Jamal Agnew, I don't want to give it to anybody. I'm still upset that we lost.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? You know, moral victories, that's not a thing in the NFL. No. I'm with you.
All right, so, I guess, right? So, let's do it. I mean, can I give it to Logan Cook?
You can get outvoted with your vote and a half
vote
for Logan Cook
whoever
if
you want to
want.
vote for. Yeah, it's your
You
vote.
know what? He took care of the ball in his punting duties. I'm just going to go with Jamal Agnew, actually, guys. Make it a clean sweep.
Okay.
I got to be fair.
There you go. Agnew is the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capabilities and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between, this truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Baptist Health Injury Report when we return. Final score, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21, and it's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Tired of hearing fine to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. The team always has a game day plan, and so do I. Publix helps us tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup, with prices that are never out of bounds.
This week at Publix, score a $5 Publix gift card when you spend $15 on Secret, Old Spice, Pantene, Herbal Essences, and Head & Shoulders.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At Vystar Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. Vystar Credit Union, VystarCU.org. Go Jags!
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro. the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars radio network. Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Final score in Week 4, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21. And time now for the Baptist Health injury report. Baptist Health changing healthcare for good. One name that popped up today, Foley Fatukasi, was reportedly dealing with a quad issue during the game today. He had been nicked up in the preseason and was playing pretty good football until today when he was off to the side really in the second half. And Adam Gotsis was getting a lot of the playing time on the interior at that position after he left the game. A few other guys were banged up, didn't see time today. Of course, Zay Jones will take a look at, we won't take a look. We'll hear what the results of the ankle issue are as we move ahead. He was unavailable for the game after an injury on Thursday in practice. Caleb Chazon, same thing, had an ankle issue. Cole Van Lanen, backup lineman with a hamstring. Those guys were all inactive for today's game. But Fred Fatukasi, big body in the interior, need to have that guy around, and 100%, especially, well, you saw the result today when the Eagles wanted to run the football.
JP, certainly so, man, without a doubt with that. He disappears, and somehow it seems that the Jags can't stop the run when they had come into the game pretty much leading the league against the run. Injuries, man, as they mount, things tend to change. But hopefully we can get the guys back out there sooner than later.
And then Zay Jones not being out there, Mike, that I think just kind of changed the balance of things. Maybe a little.
It may have, but Darius Slay went out of this game early.
Yeah.
Like, you would trade that if you're being honest, right? Like, hey, as good as Zay Jones was last week and as good as well as he's played for the Jags, Darius Slay, one of the top 5 cover corners in the National Football League. So that was probably a net gain for Jacksonville. They still really didn't take any advantage in the passing game.
So we'll hopefully get some updates on that as the week goes along here. The Jaguars fall 29-21 to the Eagles. We're back in a moment to preview next week. The division rival Houston Texans come to town. And this is Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score 29-21. Eagles over the Jags in Week 4. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. And next week, the Houston Texans come to town. The Texans lost today to the L.A. Chargers 34-24. They were down 21-0 at one point early in the second quarter. The Chargers had the lead. At halftime, it was 27-7. And the Texans reeled off 17 straight points to get within 3. 27-24 with 8:30 to go in the fourth quarter. But then a late touchdown pass from Herbert to Eckler sealed the game, made it a 2-score advantage again, and the Texans still winless on the season. So, there's been a lot of change down in Houston, Fred. They have not seen a winning result yet this season. Let's hope it stays that way next week.
Yeah, the Texans started unraveling their roster and their organization well into past a year ago. And they're just a very bad ball club. They played a competitive game in Week 1 versus the Colts, but they haven't done much since that tie. And they're just a bad team. And, bad teams do find a way to win a game at some point throughout the season. But this is a very bad team. I don't expect them to they'll show up next week and put up a challenge in that sense. But I think the Jags are just much, much better than these guys, and they have to go out there and actually play like it, and solidify the victory. But the Texans are only averaging 15 points a game. They're giving up, well into almost 30 points, close to 25 points a game. I'm sorry. They just have a bad ball club. I don't know much of their roster, but it's not a good roster because they're not winning anything.
They're not winning, but they're competitive. I mean, they've been competitive. Even today, they fell behind big. They came back, made it a one-score game fairly late. They tied Indy, and they had Indy by 17 heading into the fourth quarter. They lost by 7 to Denver, and that was on the road, and they lost by 3 to Chicago. I'm not saying Chicago's that good, but, I mean, they're fighting. They may be a bad team, Fred, and I think particularly their defense is, but they're not a team. They're going to come in here thinking they can beat this Jacksonville team because they had success against them last year.
Yeah, Mike, I think every team is going to, wherever they showed up, and no matter who they're playing, you go out there with the mindset that we're going to win this game or we're going to at least compete. I think Denver's a really bad team. They're not a great team, in my opinion. Chicago isn't a great team. So I think that, at this point in the season, it's almost, I want to call it even, but they're playing some close games against bad teams that are a little better than them, but still bad teams. I just look at this Jaguars team. Their record you might say that they're not further along than the Bears or maybe Denver, but Jacksonville is a much better team than their records show. Those other teams aren't. So I just think Jacksonville will win this game, and I'll go back to it. And the guys called me a homer. The guys on the pivot, they called me a homer because I'm rooting for the Jags each and every week. But I'm more confident this year than I have been in previous years because I'm looking at the roster. I look at what they do. I have faith in Coach Peterson. I have faith in Trevor. Again, the defense overall is a very good defense. So I think they should win the game versus the Texans at home. Plus, it's Legends Weekend. A lot of guys will be back in town. It'll be a good time for them to win. Legends Weekend last year, we won the game versus Buffalo, 6-3, I believe. So it'll be good to win back-to-back when the alumni and the guys are in town.
6-3, 2-0, 40-10, whatever the score is.
Let's
just
go.
have more points than the other team next week. That would be nice.
You win that, you're
Yes, sir.
2-0 in the AFC South.
That's
3-2. It's not, no one's running away with this division.
No. So might as well get this one while they're at it, too. Fred, have a great week. We'll see you up here next week.
All right, guys. See you then, man.
All right,
Peace
Fred.
out, Big Mike.
Fred Taylor, pride of the Jaguars running back, joining us. And for those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, the Scoreboard Show is next. We'll get your phone calls. And you can check us out on our social media channels, Jaguars Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. VP of Production, Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive Producer, Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio, Joe Fortunato. Linda Fortunato, our studio producer as well. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, Gabby Dalton. David Cho, produce our videos for Jaguars.com. For Fred Taylor, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, our entire crew, this is JP Shadrick saying good night. Final score, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars are future-focused. Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farah & Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Now, waiting to hear from you. Here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in the Scoreboard Show. Final score, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21. 355 NFL won the number, 355-6351. Turnovers the wrong way today. 5 given up, 1 taken away. 212 yards on the ground for the Eagles offense. That is a combination for a losing result, but they still had the ball down by 1 score with a chance to drive down the field. Didn't have any timeouts left. That first play, though, was the 5th takeaway.
Right, there was time, though. Yeah. I mean, you can go down. If you've got a minute and a half, you can go down the field in the NFL.
So they had it in their hands. At that point, they had given it away 4 times and given up all that rushing yardage, and they still had an opportunity to, go down and at least tie the game.
Yeah, I didn't hear Trevor Lawrence's post-game comments. I would assume he took it all on himself, as most quarterbacks would. But, look, his lack of ball security was the number 1 detriment. Number 2, I would say, is the lack of run defense after the first couple of drives for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're close. Those were the 2 biggest faults today. Jalen Hurts didn't kill you today. It was the running backs more than anything, particularly Miles Sanders, right up the middle, way too often, JP. And maybe it is Foley Fatukasi. Maybe the film study will show that when he went out, that really kind of opened up the floodgates for the Eagles' run game.
Yeah, it just didn't. It started well. It turned in a hurry after that first giveaway, the fumble lost in the 4th down play, and then the Eagles, in their final 3 possessions of the first half, finished in the end zone each time. And after trailing 14-0, they led 20-14 at halftime. And the teams traded punts early, and then the giveaways started for the Jaguars. The Eagles added a field goal and a touchdown in the second half and held the Jaguars at bay. And the phone lines are open, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. We'll come back and take your calls. I'm sure there are some mixed emotions about this game today. At the end of the day, it is a losing result, and the Jaguars are 2-2. But yes, still in first place in the division. We'll break that down.
Right, it's not a moral victory, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Brooks Rehabilitation is hiring nurses who want to be empowered as advocates, educators, care coordinators, and leaders in exceptional patient care. They have open RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Join their nationally recognized team, where you'll serve as a central team member doing what you do best, providing exceptional patient care. Apply at careers.brooksrehab.org.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. The final score 29-21. Eagles over the Jaguars in Week 4. Jags are 2-2, and the phone lines are abuzz.
Yes, they are. Just wanted to point out, Jags are 2-2, tied with Tennessee at the top of the AFC South, but conference record puts them in first place. Jags are plus 38 in point differential, meaning they've scored 38 more points than they've allowed this year in 4 games. That's because they've had 2 blowout victories, but every other team in the division at least 20 points underwater in that category. So, it's look, 2-2. We're not happy that they lost, but we're happy with where they stand. Let's put it that way, heading into the second month of the season. Let's begin with John and Callahan, first up on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, John.
Hey, gentlemen. How's it going today?
Okay.
I thought that today we did not have boss security. If we had boss security, it would have been better. But it seemed like in the second quarter that Doug Peterson got away from the run. Now, I don't know what he's got against it, but it seems like he'd rather pass the ball. Even in adverse conditions, he'd rather pass the ball rather than run it. What do y'all think? I'll leave it with y'all.
I don't think anyone's complaining about it when James Robinson went for 100 yards last week. He
ran it enough.
James Robinson wasn't very effective running the ball today. Wasn't anything in particular. Look, they're up 14-0. Defensive score, offensive score, and they're marching and look like they're going to convert a 4th down very easily, and Trevor Lawrence just drops the football.
And then 2 drives later on the second down play, Etienne ran that ball, didn't he, for 9 yards officially, and we thought maybe he got 10 in the first down, but they decided to try to sneak it instead.
Oh, that one drove me crazy because I haven't seen a good reverse angle replay on that because it happened so quick. Yeah. You're right, JP. It's second down, and they mark him about a half yard shy of the first down. It looked like his entire body almost landed across the line to gain mark, and I thought, look, if it's that clear, use one of your challenges because you're going to win it, and if you win the next one, you'll still get a third one, and here in these kind of conditions, hindsight's 20/20, but we were saying at the time, I was screaming at the TV, challenge it, and instead Trevor Lawrence fumbles the exchange right there. And if you challenge it and that converts, now maybe there's a reverse angle replay that shows his knee was down, and I'm wrong about that. And if that's the case, okay, fine. But if you could have converted that without risking the quarterback sneak in a kind of a downpour, And who knows what that drive results in. Maybe even if it's just punting it away would have been a preferable result to what you got there.
True.
So I don't think Doug Peterson hates the run. Let's put it that way.
I think Doug Peterson likes whatever he thinks can win that game that day.
Correct. I would agree with you there. All right, let's go to Robert up in Pittsburgh next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Robert.
How you guys doing?
Okay, what's up,
man?
Like I know people are gonna overreact about the game, but you gotta figure weather played a part of the ball security in the game, and let's not overreact on that. And we could we're still within a chance at the end, and to overcome that. And if you look at the bigger picture where the Jaguars are going to be better for it, and the next 4 games we could stockpile some wins and get ready for the postseason, make it a run, to get in the postseason.
See, now that's what I'm talking about. That's the mindset we need around here. Stockpile some wins. There's a team that can do that. It feels like they're not going to get overcome by one loss and lose the locker room or any of that. It feels like.
I doubt the fan base, less than 5%, if that, would say, oh, the Jags got exposed today. I don't feel like they got exposed. They had a sloppy day, a lot of it of their own doing. It's not like Philly forced those first 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Those were crucial plays. And again, ball security. But, hey, guess what? Philadelphia had ball security today. With the exception of the tip ball that Andre Sisco picked off and beautiful weaving run-back interception. But other than that, they didn't lay the ball on the ground. And they
one
carried
time,
it a
one
bunch.
fumble, but they picked it back
Oh, that's
up.
right. That was the one where Hurts basically did he just flat out drop it, right?
I think so.
And that's the one where Josh Allen got the sack. You're right, but he got right back on top of it. So there was that one opportunity. That's a good point. But overall, so that's one. They created a couple with the Hassan Reddick sacks, but the Jags certainly helped them out in that department. Again, I don't think everyone's going, now it's all going to go downhill. I think, I think people are mad because they feel like we're 2-2 and this team could be 4-0, 3-1, whatever. Pick your game that they could have won, and I think either one of them are in that category. You didn't, but now you look ahead on the schedule, like Robert's saying. I mean, Houston coming in here has got to be a win for this football team.
We heard Josh Allen in the post-game interview with Bucky Brooks in the Network Hour say, next week, division game team coming in here. If we're going to go to the playoffs, which we want to do and think we can do, we got to go beat this team and go win the division. That's the way they're thinking now. I mean, that's what it is. And I think that's the way a lot of the fans are thinking now.
Absolutely.
Obviously, that phone call. And that's how the dynamic has changed from one off season now into 4 games of a regular season.
And Josh Allen also made the point, we discussed it earlier, JP, that he said, hey, look, we felt like we were the better team. And I don't think that's just, bluff and bluster. I think they feel that way. And instead of just going, oh, my gosh, we're cursed, we're snake bit, they're mad at themselves for making dumb plays that cost them the football game in their perspective. I'm sure, look, Philly won. That's the bottom line. They overcame those conditions. They lost their left tackle, their top cover corner during the game. That's tough to overcome, and they did it. So hats off to them. They're 4-0. Jags are 2-2, but 2-2 puts you in a pretty good place in the division right now.
And back-to-back division games. Home against the Texans, then at the Colts the next 2 weeks.
Let's go.
And then the Giants at home, and then it's off to the home away from home in London against Denver. So there you go. That's what's coming up.
They're all winnable. I mean, the Jags are going to be favored in a lot more games than you would have thought when the season kicked off going forward here.
That's right. We'll take a timeout. More of your calls ahead. 355-NFL1, the number 355-6351. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat. More cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh, Dailies.
Your pet means the world to you, so Pet Paradise created a slice of paradise just for them. Pet Paradise is your complete pet health care destination with resort-style day camp, overnight boarding, professional grooming, and compassionate veterinary care from New Day, all located under one roof. Pet Paradise has over 50 locations to serve pet fanatics like you nationwide. Book today at petparadise.com, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
Tired of hearing "fine" to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the print services you need for your business. Need large banners and signs for your next promotional event? How about custom boxes to advertise your company fleet? Find out for yourself how Kessler Creative can help you stand out from the competition with eye-catching designs that are sure to impress your customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
We're back. Scoreboard Show rolls along 29-21. The final. Eagles over the Jaguars in Week 4. The Eagles 4-0. The Jaguars now 2-2. 355 NFL 1. The number 355-6351. Let's get back to it.
Let's do it. All the way back out to the West Coast we go. Pierre is in Santa Maria, California, and he's now on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Pierre.
Pierre,
you there?
Hello, Pierre.
He's usually
Hello. How
hey,
you doing, guys?
We got you.
What's going on?
How you doing?
All right. First off, I want to say I hope everybody is safe with the hurricane.
Thank you.
And I was at the building at SoFi. It was a great game that day. Today wasn't so good. With that being said, Jack should have been ready for this. You know, rainy weather. We're used to this, baby. We got to get that W. That's how you become a great team. With that being said, 24-hour rule, guys. So what, now what? Let's move on. Get ready for these 2 division games that are crucial because we trying to make the playoffs. Do ball.
All
and
right.
I'm out.
Thank you, Pierre.
Yeah. So what, now what? That goes both ways, even after you win or after you lose.
Find a way to win a game, but the only thing I would say is I don't know why the Jags are used to playing that. They don't play in that very often. As Doug Peterson said, how do you prepare for that? I don't know. Get some more rain during practice. I mean,
snow, I
don't know how you
practice in the Okefenokee one day. I don't know. Like, what do you do? I mean, I have no idea.
We've seen it before where teams take a bucket out there, right? And no, you seriously, right? And if you've seen this,
yes,
right? And they put the ball in the bucket, and between every rep, if they know they're going to be playing in inclement weather.
They were out on practice on Wednesday when the first bands were coming through, and it was raining outside.
Well, that's Pierre's
point. And we talked to
Trevor
Lawrence about it. He said, "Yeah, we worked on it. I mean, it was just we're out in the rain. It wasn't as wet as today, obviously."
Right. That's the thing. You don't play in these conditions very often. Now, that being said, Philadelphia. with the one exception, held on to the football today.
Yeah, there's two teams out there.
Yep. Austin at the Beaches next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, Austin.
Austin. Hello, Austin.
Austin's listening on his radio. I can hear it in the background.
Austin's out.
Waiting for, yes.
We'll see
all right, let's try Kyrie up in Norfolk, Virginia. Kyrie, you're on the Scoreboard Show.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good. What's up?
Great.
Good. I had mixed emotions about the game. I mean, I feel good. I agree with Josh Allen. Even if he would say we were the better team, we know that we can compete with the elite of the elite. But there's another silver lining in this game. And I have this saying where you like to call it's an elite quarterback checklist. And I look at Trevor Lawrence, and he's checked a lot of them. Elite talent, elite arm strength, check. Can he win when we have good talent, when everything's going right? Yes, he's proven that. Yep, check. Can he get us back in the game when the game is kind of getting out of hand? Yes, he can do that. Check. There's one check that's missing. When the game is on the line, do or die. We need this, Trevor. We need to get this down the field. We need to score. Can you do it? Can you get it done? That's still missing. That's two losses that's shown. And I feel like he can get better, but that's a concern because at the end of the day, that's what NFL football is about. NFL football is not about 24-0. NFL football is not about 38-10. NFL football is about this. At the end of the drive, can you get it done? Who makes the least amount of mistakes? And I'm going to let this ride, and I know we're going to be better next week, and I know Doug, and I know Trevor's going to respond. But Trevor has to, in order to be a great quarterback, you've got to get it done in those situations. And I just want to hear what you guys think about that, and I'll take the comments off of it.
All right, thank you. I don't think that's unfair. I mean, he hasn't done much of that, right, if really at all. But I'll say that I don't know if that fumble, the sack fumble, is because of the moment being too big. He did it all day. He put it on the ground 3 times previous. In fact, he did it when they were rolling up 14-0 and had a wide open guy that was going to convert 4th down. And who knows, maybe you go up 21-0 and you have a different outcome today. But obviously that's not the way it went. But I think that's fair. You know, we got to, the great ones are measured by those fourth quarter comebacks in large part, JP. We've seen it all throughout our lifetimes.
Now, I will say this. On those 2 Hassan Reddick plays, one of those, Jawan Taylor ended up on the ground, and Reddick went by him and got him. And the second one, he got pushed back and right into the lap of the quarterback.
Look, the fumbles were forced. There's no question about it. But still, you're the quarterback in that situation. You just can't let it happen. I know the other guys are getting paid to make plays as well.
Whatever, just hang on to
the
ball.
Take a sack, fall down. It's 2nd and 17, whatever the case may be. But I didn't think that comment was unfair. Again, I just don't think necessarily that the way that drive ended, that one-play drive ended, was because of the moment when the conditions, and he had already done it 3 previous times today.
How many opportunities has he really had in his career to do that, though? Like last year, there wasn't a lot of that.
No, not a lot of it. But that, that's part of, look, we can
only 2
write
this year.
Last year off entirely if you want to. But, in that case here, he's 0 for 2 this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. The Jags are 2-2. Trevor Lawrence will tell you. I guarantee you. He'll tell you, whether it's accurate or not, that he was the biggest cause of this defeat today.
That's how he is.
I mean, but I don't think he'd be lying. I think he and the run defense, that was it. That's when you lose by 8, you give up 210 on the ground, and your quarterback loses 4 fumbles in a game. You're just not going to win that game very often.
I'd be curious, and not that it matters in the grand scheme of what we're talking about, but I'd just be curious to see, some of the elite quarterbacks over the last 10, 20 years, how many potential game-winning or game-tying drives it took them to actually convert one.
Don't know. Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
I'd just be curious.
I would like to know. I don't know. Tony Smith's good at looking up these kind of things, but how many times has a team won a game where their quarterback lost 4 fumbles and they gave up 200 yards plus on the ground?
Right.
I don't know. That's got to be a very small number.
That's a good point.
But regardless, don't do those things and put yourself in better position.
Don't do that. Let's come back in a moment. Bucky Brooks will get the Jaguars field analyst on the line from Philadelphia, get his thoughts about the game, and then we'll wrap it up with some of your calls a little bit later. Final score, 29-21, Eagles over the Jaguars. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Tired of hearing fine to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
It's Ford Truck Month. Now's the time to get a great deal on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks. But you better get going. These deals won't last. Get to Ford Truck Month. Some models, trims, and features may not be available or may be subject to change. See your local dealer for details.
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else.
Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Scoreboard Show continues after a Jags loss to the Eagles 29-21. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. More of your calls coming up in just a few minutes. We go back to Philadelphia. Bucky Brooks standing by after a Jags loss. Good afternoon, Buck.
What's going on, fellas? What's happening?
Hey, Buck. Just taking some calls, rehashing this one. It's a tough one to take again. But just hearing your conversations in that locker room with especially with Josh Allen, it seems like this team feels like they're right there on the doorstep. And he said it even that they felt like they're the better team today. Maybe not overall, but yeah, they wouldn't admit that. But just some mistakes they can clean up to make this thing work.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely felt like they were the better team. It wasn't a situation where when you looked around the locker room, it was a more victory like, oh, they played them close. They felt like they let one slip. The self-inflicted mistakes, the turnovers, the not taking care of business, those things were more annoying. And when you talk to Josh Allen, he expressed that. But then it really came out when you talked to Doug Peterson. He just felt like this team just needs to learn how to kind of get out of its own way. Don't shoot itself in the foot, and they'll have a chance to win a lot of games.
Yeah, I agree, Buck. Yeah, particularly the first 2 fumbles by Trevor Lawrence were self-inflicted, but I felt like Philadelphia inflicted some damage in the run game today. How much of that was Foley Fatukasi not being out on the field? It looked like most of the second half, and how much of it was just good offensive line play opening up holes for those Philly running backs?
I would attribute most of it to good offensive line play. I mean, this is what the Eagles do. Like, they line up, they hit you in the face, they run the football. They've run the football particularly well since Jalen Hurts has been at quarterback, and they kind of revamp their offense. And so when you deal with them, you got to deal with their physicality and toughness. At halftime, Mike Caldwell, the coordinator, talked to the team. Hey, man, it ain't about schematics. It's about physicality. You got to up the physicality when you deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. That said, coming off the field, I feel like that team, the Jaguars, can play with the Eagles. And if that's the best that the NFC has to offer, the Jaguars will be okay in time.
Bucky Brooks with us from the Fighting City of Philadelphia, where the Jaguars lost today in Week 4, 29-21. They lost the turnover battle today 5-1. They gave up 212 rushing yards to the Eagles and still had the ball in their hands after the fourth turnover of the game. The Jags had the ball in their hands, down to 8, no timeouts, minute and a half. So that kind of proves to you that, yeah, they were in this game. Circumstances didn't go their way, but in the past, it would have been a blowout loss. You wouldn't have even been in that position.
Yeah, and I think that is something that you want to take away. Like, we talked about these last 2 weeks being measuring stick games, trying to assess where you are. And so you kind of see the Jaguars are close, but there's some work that needs to be done. I think the encouraging part of it is when you look at the players, you talk to the players, they know how close they are to being a really good team. And they also know that they can't keep giving games away. The theme that I got walking out of the locker room was they have to understand the urgency of the moment in those games. You have 14-0 with the ball, a chance to put another one on the board. Great teams go ahead and knock that down, and they make it a blowout game instead of making it a situation where the Eagles are able to hang close and eventually take over.
Bucky, Jags didn't have much going in the passing game today outside of Jamal Agnew, but Christian Kirk really shut down until late in this game today. No Avonte Maddox, their number one slot corner. Darius Slay goes out pretty early. What did you see from your vantage point that enabled Philadelphia to do such a good job on Kirk?
Well, one thing that Philly did is they squatted on routes. They really played snug coverage because we hadn't pushed the ball down the field. Even the last 2 games that we won against the Indianapolis Colts and the Chargers, there weren't a lot of vertical throws. So they squatted on the routes. And then I'm going to be honest with you. One thing that you can't see on TV, the ball was like a knuckleball. And so the drops that you saw from Christian Kirk and Marvin Jones, they're uncharacteristic because those guys are sure-handed. But because of the weather, the ball was just moving like a knuckler. So it was really hard for them to gauge where the ball was going to land, where it was going to go, where it was going to drop. And because it was so wet, you couldn't really catch the ball in your hands. For guys that are natural hand catchers, it's weird for them to catch with their body, which is why we saw so many drops from them today.
All right, Bucky, coming up, back-to-back divisional games here at home against Houston next week, and then at Indy, a team the Jags have already beaten once this season. So, hey, everything's still out in front of them. I mean, they're in first place even after the results today in the rest of the division. They're in first place in the AFC South, and 2 big games ahead to solidify that.
Yeah, 2 big games. And talking to Josh Allen, he talked about Houston's the big game because you win the division, it guarantees you a ticket into the postseason. So their focus is on winning the AFC South. And the first way to do it is you got to go take care of business against a team that I would say some would say you should beat, the Houston Texans.
Yeah, it's a team that tried to rally back today. They were down 17,
They've been competitive.
21 at one point.
Yeah, they've been competitive. They're not great. Now, keeping in mind, they gave up, 34 to the same Charger team that scored 10 against the Jags. And really, no Keenan Allen. It's the same group that they had out there last week. So that's a positive. Bucky, I know you will put this behind you. It's 24-hour rule and go out there and try to correct the things that you did wrong. But what is the message to the coaching staff as they head into the week of practice?
Well, I mean, I think the message is before you can win, you got to learn how to not beat yourself. And so the things that you have to eliminate, turnovers, pre-snap and foolish penalties, and big plays allowed. You eliminate those things, you have a chance to win games, but it starts with making sure that you don't give the game away by turning the ball over.
Bucky, are you at the airport in Philly right now?
I am at the airport in Philly, ready to get up out.
Are you going to get a cheesesteak? They have those places in the airport. I'm just telling you.
They do have those, but I'm not going to get it from one of those places. If I was going to go, I should have went last night. See the Pat's or Geno's in Philly and got a real cheesesteak with a little whiz and some of that other stuff. But I did get a pretzel today. so I'm okay.
Okay, you're living okay then, considering the circumstances of the game today. Thank you, Bucky. We'll talk to you next week. Have safe travels.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, man. We'll talk to you.
Bucky Brooks out of here at the Philly airport, and the Jaguars lose 29-21 to the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll return. More of your calls. We'll wrap the show. We'll get as many in as we can until the top of the hour. After Jaguars lost to fall to 2-2, it's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG, too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Tired of hearing fine to every question you ask your child? Conversations with a child or teen in your life may sometimes feel one-sided, but they help build the foundation for lifelong mental wellness. Getting started can be difficult, but you don't have to do it alone. Wolfson Children's On Our Sleeves program provides just what you need to spark conversations that have lasting benefits. For free tools and expert advice delivered to your inbox each month, visit wolfsonchildrens.com/onoursleeves.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com. Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com. Brooks Rehabilitation has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues, to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
And down the stretch we come in the Scoreboard Show. We're going to get to as many calls as possible and wrap it up after a Jaguars loss in Week 4. Final score 29-21. The Eagles over the Jaguars. What you got?
We got them stacked up, JP, so let's get to them, beginning with our man Saqib checking in, get a little temperature check on his emotional state. Saqib, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, man. What's up?
You know, it wasn't a good week for me. The Knowles lost, the Jags lost, but I'm feeling positive. We haven't beat the Houston Texans in, I feel like, in 500 years. I feel like we're going to beat them this week coming up. And I just, you know, the turnovers, I've never seen the Jaguars quarterback so sloppy before, having that many fumbles. I understand the rain. I totally do that. But it is what it is. We lost to the best team in NFL. We just got to beat Houston. We haven't beat them in a long time. Let's go beat them, and let's celebrate Tony Baselli Sunday, baby. Let's go, boys.
Right on. Yeah,
Yeah.
3-2, 2-0 in the division. It's not the worst place to be.
Yeah, there are worse places.
You got to get that one, though. Yeah, I mean, this is you got to stop the little one-game losing streak. Donovan Darius texted me a graphic from somebody that indicated that no one in the 21st century, no NFL player had lost 4 fumbles in a game until today with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how far back in the 20th century you need to go to find another example of that, but at least in the last 22 years that had not happened in the NFL. We go to James next up in Gainesville here on the Scoreboard Show. Hello, James. James, you're on the air.
Hello, James.
Hey, guys. Hey, JP, Mike. It was good traveling with you to Canton, my man, JP. Been a long time. But do you think the Jags will go to the waiver wire to try to fortify the defensive tackle position since Falakasi is injured?
We'll see how bad it is, first of all. I mean, we just saw the report that it was a quad issue, but no word on the severity or anything like that. They do well, it's over now, right? The number 1 slot is done. It's now with standings, so they would not have the number 1 priority after week 3.
Well, and that's only if a guy gets waived anyway. I mean, you could go out and go after a street free agent.
That's fine.
Anytime you like.
Sure.
You know,
in reality, they've got the practice squad, a couple of those guys they can lean on. That's
where
why they're
you
there.
Turn to next.
Yeah,
obviously.
If you have to. And
if you have to.
We don't know, as we said, the severity of what's going on with that or
It was
what.
interesting because was it Danny Shelton who indicated when he signed with Kansas City that the Jags had shown interest and it was kind of between those two, and then he got cut right before the season started, so he didn't make the team. I saw he was on another roster, but the Jags never circled back and showed any secondary interest in him. But we'll just have to see. They'll know better than we will, and sooner, the state of Fatukasi's quad injury, so let's hope it's a short-term deal.
Yeah.
Matt in Orlando next up at 355 NFL 1. Hello, Matt.
Hey, guys. Thank you for letting me in. Unfortunately, I'm down here in Orlando. We don't have internet yet. We just recently got power back. I had to find my way to the local bar, and guess what bar I fall upon? It's a Philadelphia bar, and I'm sitting there, and we had 2 minutes left, and when Trevor fumbled that ball at the end of the game there, really broke my heart. He broke like every other Jaguar. Honestly, I felt like we could have drove that ball, and honestly, our 2-point conversion game, I think we would have scored. But it's okay. It's not here nor there. That is the best team in NFL. We lost today, and we'll tip our hats to them, and we'll go ahead and give it to them. But I just wanted to say a few things. Bucky Brooks and his commentary with not having the teal shades on, it helps me throughout the week mentally because he doesn't put the shades on, and I love it. Moving on to Houston, I think we win this game, honestly, and I think we kind of get our legs underneath us after this. We go ahead and move on to Houston, beat them, home field advantage, take care of that. Then we go ahead and I believe it's Indy next up in Indy. I think we'll get them. The big game that I'm really excited about is I feel like some of those Giants fans up in New York, they're getting a little full of themselves being 3-1. And I think last time they came down, we went ahead and whooped them something good down here in Duval, and I'll be there for that game, so I'm excited for that. But my main question is, if we I probably answer my own question. If we don't stay healthy, I don't think we're going to be the team that we all think we are. We got to stay healthy. So if in the event that we fall short a few key players, who do you think on the roster, or maybe the practice squad, or even on the free agency wire that we could pick up in the event that we pick up a few injuries? Because you can see it all around the NFL. That's all I got, guys. Hey, man, it was good. It was a good game today. Unfortunately, we lost. It's Duval till we die. Let's go, Duval!
Hey, question for you: How annoying was the Philly bar, or were they as rowdy as the fans in Philly, or how was the feel in there?
You know, those guys were telling me sly jokes. You know, down here in the South, we're kind of straightforward. If you got something to say, you going to say it to me. Those guys were kind of like on the slide, like, oh, what about this? What about that? You know, so, but we got through it fine. I made sure I didn't drink too much because I knew I was around a lot of Philly fans. So I was like, you know, kept my head on a swivel. So But thank you guys. Thank you guys for taking my call.
I appreciate it.
You don't know how many it would have taken to whip you, but it's a handy little piece of information to have before you go into a situation.
Look, as far as finding help, look, I understand the whole next man up philosophy.
Right.
To think that there's a player that no NFL team thinks is worthy of being on a practice squad right now can come in here and help save your season is highly unlikely.
And let's be honest, we all pretty much know where this team is right now. That's what they're lacking is the depth.
No
it
doubt.
takes time. It takes years to build that. It takes scouting. It takes drafting. It takes developing players over time in your system to do that. They've got good frontline players. They've proven that in the first 4 weeks. They can hang with these teams and win some games and probably should have won 2 more, right? Well, yeah, if you start losing guys, that's where it's going to get hairy.
Right. And look, you're not going to play a team the caliber of Philadelphia every week either, and you're going to lose guys at some point, right? Whether it's for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, the season, let's hope it's not too many key guys, but you're going to have to learn to overcome that. That's just the NFL. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. But, yeah, I think we all realize, JP, the way you said, they've got really good frontline players now. They've got guys that can compete with anyone in the league, but they don't have that quality depth right now. So, you get a few of the wrong guys out in any given week, it's going to make it tough for you.
No, I mean, now it can be tough to develop that depth during the season. I mean, there's just not a lot of time to go out there and play, like even in practice. So you're not getting a lot of practice time, so it's tough. But that's why it takes so long, the off-season programs and everything that goes into that too. It's not an overnight, hey, we magically have depth all of a sudden.
And I mean, the NFL mentality, I get why you have to have it. The whole next man up thing just, to me, is so funny because the next man up is not as good as the first man up, or he'd be the first man up. It's just the way it is. And does that mean in over a short period of time you cannot fill in adequately? No, you can do that over a short period of time. You lose some of your frontline guys for an extended period, you're going to be in trouble. That's the case with a lot of teams, though. Let's hope that doesn't happen to this one. Let's get one more in before we get out of here on the Scoreboard Show. Robert in Fleming Island, you're up next. Go ahead, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Yes, this is Robert. I'm just calling. I felt like that we had that game. That pass to Agnew that was overthrown by about a yard.
Yep.
If we would have made that pass, it would have been 21-0. We would have had that momentum to win the game. And I think that after that pass, Lawrence, Trevor, he lost his confidence. He was holding the ball too long. And he just has to have more confidence in his receivers because they can make the play. But, when you hold the ball too long and it gets batted down, well, that's worse than a 50-yard interception,
I'd say no.
At least a 50-yard interception, you're downfield.
But the other team has
they might have the ball.
Yeah, but as you get a pass batted down, you live to fight the next down. If it's first down, it's 2nd and 10. It's not as bad as throwing an interception on any point of the field. All right. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. I don't think Trevor Lawrence lost any confidence, JP. I think he made a couple of sloppy plays. Because after that, if he just doesn't drop the football, I don't think it was like, I'm not confident enough to hang on to the football. He dropped a wet football. If he doesn't, he's got Tim Jones wide open right in front of him. You convert that, and who knows how the rest of the drive plays out. But it's not like they just went into a shell. He just made an error, a physical error, an unforced error at that point. Had nothing to do with confidence, in my opinion.
If it was baseball, it'd be in that third column. It would be in the E column.
That's
be
exactly
a couple of
right. He made a couple of bad ones in that capacity today. So
yeah, he's confident. I mean, we talked to him before the game, and his head's in the right spot. It seems to have been already this offseason and now into the season, and another setback, but that's not anything they can't overcome.
Right, and I get the idea that it's sometimes, like, if it's 3rd and long, you throw a bomb and they pick it off, it's like a punt. Okay, that's one thing. But as a general rule, I'm going to take the ball batted down over the ball picked off by the other squad.
Mike, how you feeling about next week?
I feel great, honestly. I mean, look, this is this is a business kind of – it's not a trip, but it's a business encounter. You've got to take care of business. I think if you measure them up side by side, the Jaguars are the better team than the Houston Texans. But the Texans are going to come in here, and they know they swept you last year. You thought you were the better team last year. I know it's a completely different group of guys and all that stuff, but I do believe that they should win this football game. Will they? Well, you've got to still go out there and make the plays, right? They're going to come in here. Dameon Pierce had a huge day running the ball for Houston. We saw today the Jags struggled all of a sudden to stop the running game. If they're able to get Pierce going and control the clock a little bit, they've got Brandon Cooks, who's been a multi-time 1,000-yard receiver. They've got a few weapons out there, and they know that they've played with the until today. They lost by 10. Every game they had played had been a one-score game. So, they're going to come in, and you're going to get their best shot. But I think the Jaguars are a better team. So unless we lose some guys due to injury during the week, unexpectedly, I don't see why I wouldn't feel very strongly that Jacksonville's getting to 3-2 next Sunday.
Jaguars today, tomorrow, and all week?
All week long, baby, 10 to noon. Sorry, no victory Monday, but them's the breaks, and we'll look back on this one tomorrow with your former quarterback, David Garrard.
And, of course, from 4 to 6, we'll have Jaguars Happy Hour with Pete Prisco and Tony Baselli recapping everything in the game. Jags Drive Time tomorrow morning, 10:30 on Jaguars.com. Thanks to our entire crew, Linda Fortunato on the phones, Tony Smith, David Cho, Gabby Dalton in the background on the video side. For Mike Dempsey, I'm J.P. Shadrick. Thank you for the calls tonight. Thank you for listening. Final score, Eagles 29, Jaguars 21. The fifth quarter coming up, and this has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.